Hi, fellow traders. I'm going to quickly recap my trades from the day. Another day, just traded one ticker all day. Another day, the morning started out a little rocky for me, made a couple mistakes, but um, was able to clear my head and come back and trade, like I know how to trade. So, um, GPRO was on my watch. I went through my watch list on ticker today again, just to give you an idea of how simple my process is and how effective it is in finding the stocks that are in play that day. You don't need to know all of this technical jargon, to find stocks that are in play. And, that's pretty much what I'm trying to show you. But I'll keep doing that, every morning. As long as I have the time and availability, I'll keep, going through my watch list. But it was on watch, every time. All stocks that are on my watch list are, I look for opening range breakout first. So the 5 minute opening range breakout. So you see, we've got this candle at open, and we just didn't get any movement. Um, Really, I didn't see much movement in any stocks, and the ones that had movement just had wicked, crazy price action. So I kind of stuck with this. I was watching it, and it was trending the right way. So I figured this would be a nice trade to take over this level here, 1024. I didn't want to get in down here and then run into this level. So what I did was I just waited for it to break this level. So this was kind of a delayed opening range breakout, but it worked just like I wanted it to. And I was doing real good until I, forgot that I was long. And when I went to cover half, I added. And so I ended up with more shares than I had originally wanted to take. And so I went to take the ad off because that's not what I wanted to do. And then take half off. And I accidentally took the whole position off. So, I mean, it was a green trade, but just a mental screw up. And it's tough sometimes trading when you have dyslexia because things like this happen more often than, if you didn't. And, that's all I could chalk that up to. So I'll do that occasionally. It doesn't hurt me because, I'm in a trade and I pretty much know what I'm doing and I know how to rectify the situation. But I didn't get back in long. Ordinarily, I would get right back in because last month, what I was showing you how to grow, your account was taking a position here, then taking it all off on your first target, and then resetting and, taking off from there. Well, this was overextended. The RSI was already at 80 or over 80. And even though I knew and had an inkling that it was going to test this 200, I didn't have the gumption to take it. So I just waited to see what it was going to do here. So initially, my thought was to short here. And so we got here and it was failing. So I went to take it short below this level. So I got short here and just watched it ride this 200. Now the 200 was trending down. So I felt, well, maybe, what's going on here? This is trending down, but this is over a longer time frame, slower moving. But the 9 that's calculating on a little bit faster time frame was trending up. So, once it popped, it held a 9 and it kind of pushed up. I went ahead and covered. So that was, within I think it was around a $50 loss or something like that. So we got up here And I was looking for the rejection of this 1158 level because you had 1150 here, the $half mark, and you had 1158 right above it. So I waited for the confirmation on the 2-minute, got it, got in, and my first cover was 1129. Took that, without any issues, and this thing started to hold 1129. The 9 was coming up, so I had a profit stop set, and it took me out on my profit stop. Now, what I like to do is, and what I've been demonstrating in Ticker TV, is how to use profit stops and how, to use hard stops. If you're brand new and you have trouble stopping out, and even if you're not brand new, I mean, I've been trading for several years and I still have problems where I get hard headed and not sticking to my stop. And I have these, $150 losses, which I shouldn't have. And it's a battle that every trader has. I mean, even the most seasoned and the most professional trader has days where they're just off their game, or they will just add to a losing position because their conviction is just so strong, and they end up losing big because they didn't stick to their rules. So it happens to everybody. The key is having a process to get yourself back on track. And that's one of the things that I help the traders that I mentor work on, because we're going to make mistakes. There's no way around it. But how we react to them, that's what we have to, the process that we have to build, so that we know how to react to certain things when we make mistakes. How do we learn from them? How do we handle ourselves when we do make these mistakes? So this was my first target. My second target was the 20 here, but I took it off here and it held. And what I did was, as soon as I took it off here, I brought my profit stop to 2-1, meaning once this goes back, I'm not going to let it retest this level. I'm going to take my profit off at 2-1. So here I had a 10-cent stop. So I got in at, let's see, 11.55. I had a 10-cent stop at 11.35. And, that's where it hit. So I got out, 11.35, it hit my profit target. So my minimum profit on this was 2-1. And this got, almost 3-1, I believe. But that was a solid trade. Now, I waited until it got up. I didn't take it long. Or did I take it long? No, didn't take it long. And I waited until we got here, till we rejected this 200. And I confirmed on the 2-minute that it's probably rejecting. I got short here. And then we ended up taking me out. I had a 15-cent stop here because, this thing was still trending up. It was still strong. I just had a thing against going long because this was so overextended. I had no idea. I was fighting that in my mind that I'm not going to take it long anymore because this thing is too overextended. So that's why I never did, take it long. So I tried to short it here, got stopped out, and it ran up to, almost to 12.58. There's another level up here at 12.58. And it didn't quite get there before it turned over. And so here, I finally convinced myself to go long, and I took it long here, thinking that we were going to get a bounce, and ended up stopping out, covering, And these were just accidental clicks of the mouse here. That's what all this was. But going long, I started digging a hole for myself here. So here I was, I wasn't at my trading station. I just had my mobile station with me. I was on a conference call, and I saw this breaking down. So I said, if it confirms under the 20, I'm going to take it short. My first target is going to be 11.29. 11.58 was dead to me as a level at this point. I just didn't think we would get it would hold up here. Even though it did hold as resistance here, I thought we took it out pretty good, and that it probably wasn't going to be a factor coming back down. So 29 was going to be my target, because it held as support here and we never lost it. So I took some off here at 11.29. I took half my position off. My other half, I was going to take a quarter off here, because I got 200 shares here, 200 shares here. So I was in 400 shares, and I took 200 off here, 100 off here at VWAP, and I was supposed to take 100 off when it hit the 200. That was my ultimate target. But I was a bad example today, and I admitted it. I was a bad example. I was being greedy. I should have taken it here according to plan, but I didn't. I thought we were going to get the late day fade, possibly down to this level here, and I put in a profit stop. And the way I use these profit stops is just like I took a profit here at 11.29. I got my average here was 11.77. So when I took it off here at 11.29, my profit stop was 11.57, which was just above this level here. That was 20-cent profit stop. I took my profit here, then my profit stop became 11.37. Now I'm dropping it down, and I'm getting 30 cents, 35 cents above where I'm exiting. So once I got down here and we hit the 200, I dropped my profit stop down to 11.95 or 11.97. That was my profit stop, and that gave me what's that, 80 cents or 70 cents profit. So no, it gave me 80 cents profit. So I had a profit stop for 80 cents. So if this thing ever popped up and tried to run away from me, it would protect my profit. And what happens to a lot of new traders and some intermediate traders is when your stock is working out and you've taken profit, and then all of a sudden something acts on it and it starts to fly in reverse. Well, because your trade worked, you feel that this is just a pop-up and it's not going to stay up there. It's just taking out stop losses or whatever. And then it keeps going and you end up losing your profit. So this is what I teach and I preach, and I'm practicing what I preach. This is the main reason why I'm doing this, account, and I'm going back and showing you how you can grow it step by step, because I practice this every day. I practice what I preach. So I started using these profit stops. And, if you see me in Ticker TV, you see me adding these profit stops. And it's all to protect my profit in case this thing turns around and tries to run away from me. And I won't get that deer in the head like, look, trying to figure out what do I need to do. I've already got the system in place. And it's more important for me because having dyslexia, sometimes I'll do things opposite. Just like, back here, I was supposed to be selling, but I bought more because I'm thinking I'm short. I'm gonna buy the cover. I just did the opposite of what I needed to do. And just little simple things like that is what I had to work around. And so now I know how to react when I do something like that. Or if a stock pops, I know that I'm going to put a profit stop in so that I'm protected. So um, that was my day today. I did turn it back around, but too many tickets. 20 tickets. I've got, $120 commission. Once you add all of these fees, well, these are disappeared. But they added them all up now. These were, I guess, when this thing settles, it actually calculates all of these fees together. Because now this is my commission cost for the day was $120. So you can see I didn't quite make $100 after all of this mess, because over trading is what happens when you make a lot of mistakes. But you can dig your way out of it if you follow a solid trading plan and you follow your process and you stick to your rules. Now, had none of this set up, I never would have traded it. The only reason I traded it was because it was setting up. And I had clear, defined risks to base my trades off of. All right, so that does it for me this week. Had a pretty decent first week of the month. I'm looking forward to doing a little bit better next week. I'm still going to stick this month. I'm still sticking with the small position sizes because you need to perfect small. And I actually had to go back and relearn this because this was the key. This is what was causing me problems when I was trading out of my other account. I lost sight of who I was and I lost my way. So coming back to this has actually helped me get back to normal and become a better trader. So, and you can see just trading a couple hundred shares, 400 shares of this all day, you know, I was down over $100 and now I'm back over to, 208. All I had, the bad part about it is I had so many tickets, which kind of, hurt me on commission costs, but I traded within myself and I ended the day and I ended this week on a positive note. So I won't be going into the weekend, upset at myself because I didn't trade like I knew how to trade. All right, so everybody take care. Have a good weekend. Kick back and relax. And if you have any questions or you want to learn more about how I trade and my process and my setups, just send me a email, averagejoetrader@gmail.com. You drop the last E, or easier, ed@warriortrading.com. Just send me an email and we can get together from there. So see you Monday.